This is 2 Thessalonians 2, 1 through 3. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Adawan Yahawashi HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory be to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, and Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. It's back again with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Kakadash, the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. That's the Father's name. Yahawashi equals He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. That's the Son's name. And Rakakadash equals a spirit that is holy, a spirit that is set apart. That is what we call the Holy Spirit. All right. This lesson will be along the lines of, Esau's weather machine, Esau's weather devices, etc., etc. So this individual is the son of perdition, right? And as we just read, a falling away must come. Okay, you must have individuals that, hey, they'll come into this truth and they'll fall away, right? They'll believe and then they'll fall out. They'll jump off the train that's moving, that while it's moving, while it's growing, while the prophecies are being shown, while everything is being known, and the truth is growing, and this temple is being built. You see the house coming together, okay, New Jerusalem being put together, but you jump off right before it's assembled. Because maybe you never believed in the full picture that was given in the beginning. Okay? Now, verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called power, or that is worshipped, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of power, showing himself that he is power. Now, this is the YT man who opposeth and exalteth. Let's get those words. Opposeth.
Strong's G 480. Antikamai.
Antikamai. In the Greek, it means to be set over against, opposite to oppose, be adverse to, withstand. Right? We being the righteous, okay, the remnant, the election, right? Really the children of Israel in general. We are righteous children. Okay? But Esau is the opposite, direct opposite of that. He's wicked. Every single individual, every single Edomite. Okay, there's no such thing as a righteous Edomite. All of them are wicked. Right? They're extremely wicked. Their thoughts is wicked. Every deep thought, everything that they think about is wicked. Their mind is deep, as it states in Psalms, the 64th chapter. Let's get that real quick. As it says right here, verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Now, that diligent search is, they go into it and they figure out what sin that you don't supposed to be, sin in general. They learn, they read the book, they learn what we don't supposed to do, and they make us do it. Really, they can't make us, but they make it where it's hard to avoid, where they would put pork in the concrete. They would put pork. Man, we was getting refried beans, and because my wife's making some burritos, and I'm checking it, and we check the labels. Hey, brothers and sisters, check labels. We always constantly pushing this. Check labels, check labels, check labels. So the Rosita brand has lard in it. Lard, which that's pork. Okay, it's coming from pork fat. That's how lard is made. So it's in those refried beans. But you got a couple other brands that don't have it in it. So we chose to get them. Okay? But they're trying to get you in these simple things that, hey, it's a car using Rosita brand every single day, They're using it heavily when they're making their burritos, their tacos, quesadillas, enchiladas, whatever it may be. Okay? And it's heavy on the pork, right? But if you don't study to show thyself approved, then how you gonna know? You're not. You're gonna remain ignorant. A lack of knowledge. But it's not a lack of knowledge in that sense because the knowledge is there. It's right there on the back, the ingredients. It's that you're rejecting knowledge. You don't care to live life purposefully, live it correctly, live it properly, right? So therefore, when this devil searches out these iniquities and he does that diligent search, he's going to capture you in one of his nets. These snares, as right here, verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They're counting on you not seeing what they do, right? Now, I got a video to show, which is going to support the title, which is Esau's weather machine. Esau creates the weather, etc., etc. Let's run it.
Been in your own rain? Snow. Snow. Have you been in your own rain? Snow. Snow. Yeah. Yeah, our own snow. It's actually way easier to make snow than it is rain. Why is that? So you know how the material freezes the liquid in the cloud? Mm-hmm. That means that the cloud has to be cold enough for you to freeze it in the first place, which generally means that it's cold beneath the cloud too. Now, with respect to rain, we're operating in Utah, Colorado, Oregon, California, and Texas. It's all rain in Texas, so we've been in our own rain there. Out in West Texas and the Trans-Pecos, the Panhandle. That's been pretty cool. Yeah, that's got to be pretty. It's got to be a weird feeling, knowing that that's your rain. Like I said, that's the second most important thing that I've ever done in my life. What is the agent? Yeah, so silver iodide. That is what has been used in one form or another for the last 60 years. Its crystal structure is almost identical to ice. So that plus a couple other material properties make the water freeze onto it very well. We use so little of it, about 50 grams per 100,000 plus acres, that there's no accumulation, no measurable or consequential accumulation in the soil for.
All right, let's hold it right there and let's go look this up. Silver iodide, Salakia, silver iodide, right there. Okay, AgL or AgI, I believe, is a yellowish compound used primarily for cloud seeding, weather modification. All right, that's what cloud seeding is weather modification, due to its ice-like crystal structure, but it also serves in old photography as a medical antiseptic and in advanced electronics min restores. It's highly photosensitive and can be toxic if inhaled or ingested, potentially causing skin discoloration. All right. So the main uses, as you see, is we're gonna focus on this weather modification. Its hexagonal structure mimics ice, encouraging supercooled water droplets in clouds to freeze and fall as precipitation, rain or snow, or to suppress hail. Right. Now this is what they use in cloud seeding, as this individual is talking about.
Humans are for fun.
He's telling you. Now he's gonna say this right here, but they always do this to reflect or neglect the fact that it's harmful to the body. As it's telling you, if you ingesting this, right? And this is letting you know the rain that's falling, the snow that's falling. As he said, he's operating in California, Oregon, Arizona, all these states that he mentioned, the West Coast, right? And this is going on all over this nation, okay? Actually, just going on all over this planet, because Dubai is not shy of admitting that they are cloud seeding. We'll touch on that in a minute. Yahawah, remember, all right? But he's going to try to deflect from the fact that they're doing this, well, in a sense, where he's going to say it's not really harmful. Let's let it go.
Farms are for ecosystems. All that being said, though, well, actually, the first point is most cloud seeding operations in the past have used flares. So they'll burn a flare that aerosolizes the silver iodide. But in the flare, there's a bunch of other junk materials, right? People get concerned about aluminum or stuff like that in the flares. So we don't use that because we don't want any additional additives beyond what is explicitly and exclusively for rainmaking. So our aerosol dispersion system just uses silver iodide. Something that we're working on right now is totally organic material found in American soil that is biodegradable, that is more effective and actually costs less per gram than silver iodide. We have a bunch of lab testing to do before we roll that out to the field, and then we need to do all the regulatory permissions with the EPA and otherwise. But silver iodide is what we've used for the last 7 months.
And as he said earlier in his video, he said for the last 60 years, this is what has been used. So this has been going on for 60 years. This has been documented that they started doing this. Let's go in the Vietnam War. They showed you that Vietnam War cloud seeding. They showed you that in the movie Forrest Gump, right? During the Vietnam War, the U.S. conducted a secret cloud seeding operation called Operation Popeye, 1967 to 1972, aiming to extend the monsoon season over the Ho Chi Minh Trail by dispersing silver iodide to increase rainfall, causing mud and flooding to hinder North Vietnamese supply lines, though its actual effectiveness was debated and later exposed, leading to public outcry. Right? Now this definitely worked, okay? And it was effective. So that goes back to my point of Second Thessalonians, where this devil is he's opposing and exalting himself above all that is called power, or that is worshipped, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of power, showing himself that he is a power. He's trying to be like the Most High. Right? That's what he's doing. He's trying to what's his name? Yosef Harari, I believe, Yuval Harari, whatever. This dude said, it won't rain, we'll make it rain. All right, the sun won't come, we'll make the sun. Like, you know, so it led Chinese, all right, different nations. Now they're making artificial suns, right? They have artificial rain, artificial snow. They're expediting hurricanes, making them stronger, right? They're creating weather, man. They're making clouds, okay? It's all leading back to operate. If they was doing this Operation Popeye in 1967, they've been messing with this technology, okay? And that's about 60 years going back. We in 2026 right now, you know? So this is nothing new that the devil working with. Let's go to Isaiah 14 and let's start at 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, a heaven being a kingdom, a rulership, okay? This devil is going to fall. Oh, Lucifer, light bearer, the ones, the so-called Illuminati, Bilderberg, Jesuits, whatever, Club of Rome, whatever you want to call them, okay? There's many secret societies. These bankers, these banking families, okay? These people in positions of power that are set up, they're controlling the money, the funding, they're funding wars, they're funding chemical experiments, they're funding stuff like HARP, right? Where they're messing with weather. They're funding Mount Weather, all right? These facilities where the main purpose is to figure out how to be God. All right? That's what they're trying to do. Because they don't believe in the Most High. Okay? Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? This ain't talking about no angel, man. Okay? This is talking about the elite banking families, so-called elite, because they're not really elite. The elite is the elect of Israel, the best of his kind. That's the elite. That's the real elite. That's who's going to be at the top under Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and King David and the apostles. Okay, the 144,000. And then the 1/3 right under them. That's the elite. The ones that believe in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to make it through. Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, thy mind, What did they do? What did we just read in Psalm 64? They make a diligent search of all iniquity, and they bring it forth. They lay snares privately, saying, who shall see them? Right? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne. What did we just read in 2 Thessalonians? They opposeth and exalteth themselves. So they exalt their throne above the stars of power. That's all who worship Yahawah. Right? I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Where are they? They in the Holy Land right now. They identify as us. They're sitting in our land. They're sitting on our seat. They're ruling and judging the earth. Because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, Job 9:24. They're set up for an appointed time. So this is nothing more than prophecy. But as you read in verse 12, prophecy is going to come past where they're going to be kicked out of their heaven. They're going to fall from their heaven, from their rulership. I will exalt my throne above the stars of power. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. You cannot be like the Most High. All right? Now he's giving you the power to make fire come down from heaven. Revelations 13. He's giving you the power to manipulate the weather and do all of this and do all of that, to create diseases. Okay? You have a disease, what you call HIV, AIDS, these type of things. CANCER is expedited by this man at a high rate. Okay? So this devil, he's destroying the earth. That's all he came to do. Kill, steal, and destroy. Okay? These are the wiles of the devil, the strategies, the tactics. He's breaking you down piece by piece. He's counting on these chemicals going into your kids, and damaging you further, especially if they hit your kids. Let's say your 2-year-old, your 3-year-old. And they those heavy metals, that silver iodide is getting in them. It's raining, and your kid, outside in the rain, and that's nothing but chemical rain, just flowing in the body. Your organ, your skin is an organ. So they're absorbing all these chemicals directly into their body, man. But this is something that Jake doesn't consider. Okay? It's extremely important that you recognize the warfare that is being displayed, that is being used, is being committed on you, man. This man is committed to destroying you by any means necessary. By any means necessary. All right? Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Esau, Edom, shaking the kingdoms. This is what he did. Going all across this world, all across this planet, we can have it. All right? That's what he's on. That's what he's about. Revelations 3 and 10. Okay? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, that's the servants. That's the one that serve. That's the ones that worship Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. That hour of temptation, that MOTB, RFID hip going upon all the planet, everywhere, every single nation, every single country. It's going to be impossible for you to live. All right? Impossible for you to buy or sell without that hip. Okay? But somehow, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to keep us. I will also keep thee, right, from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. All right? So you got to trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Don't give up. Don't get weak. Don't let your strength fall. This devil is only gonna be allowed to get down for a specific amount of time. Let's go to Job 5 and let's wrap it up. This is Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So he's messing up Esau at the end of the day. Esau is about to eat he's about to eat his food. He's prepared his food. He set the table. He's about to sit down and eat. But Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to come through, snatch the plate, snatch the food off the fork, and throw that devil in the pits, man. Meaning the lowest part of hell. Meaning that he's going to be a slave. All right? Physically. He's going to be under those that he ruled over. 360 change. Right? And it's beautiful. I love to see it. I can't wait to see it. The Wadi Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. So with that being said, man, I'm going to wrap it up right here. Hope this has been an edifying lesson. Giving all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well.
Do you think you'll...
In sincerity taught us his truth, and Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. As always, Kwam Yasharahla, and a Baba to this wicked kingdom. All right. And Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi destroyed this bitch yesterday. I'm going to let a little bit of this play, just to wrap it out.
When do you think you'll introduce the other agent? January 2026. Coming up, another 6 months. Nice. Let's talk about, some of the benefits of this, other than the obvious, What are some of the other benefits that this could bring to the world? We'll start just with precipitation enhancement, making it rain and snow more, right? First of all, it's going to it already is preventing farms from running dry, right? So farms that need more water, we can produce more water for. All of the aquifers, I said at the very beginning of our discussion, in the American West are running out. And so once those aquifers run out, not only are they empty, which is bad because we can't pump more, but also because there's less pressure in the aquifer, the sediment will compress, and then you lose storage capacity permanently. So the longer there's not enough water in there, the less you can store in the future. So making it rain and snow more so that more water percolates into the aquifer, that is also super important so that we have storage capacity in the future. Hydroelectric, right? It's clean, stable, baseload power. I think that eventually nuclear is going to be like the primary way that we produce energy. But while we're getting towards that, making sure that there's as much water flowing through our rivers as possible so that we have as much clean hydroelectric energy, that's a huge one. And then also data centers and manufacturing facilities and specifically chip plants that use a lot of water, like Google Cloud Compute uses 25% of all of the water in northeastern Oregon. Yeah. So in the northeastern quarter of the state, they use a quarter of all the water, and it's all farmland, right? So you would think that the farmers would use like 99%, but Google uses a ton. So if we want to keep using the internet, and if we want to invest in AI, then we need to produce more water as well. Is there a timeline on when these aquifers will be depleted? Somewhere between the 2040s and 2070s. So not long. No. And we're not reversing the trend right now. We're slowing it down, but it's still being drawn down. Interestingly enough, Nebraska and Orange County are the two places in the U.S. that have great aquifers. Unfortunately, Orange County's aquifer is full of plastic, and Nebraska's aquifer is full of, pesticides. So, not great, but at least they have the water. Without cloud seeding, we run out of water. That's number one. And then with respect to other stuff, like people have proposed means of doing hail suppression. So targeting a storm before it dumps golf ball or baseball sized hail. If you can freeze the liquid in the cloud into really, really small snowflakes before they freeze onto bigger stones and grow into bigger stones, then you can reduce the amount of damage done by that as well. That's another huge application that I think about. Have you been in your own rain?